It's Lonnie the Theater Lady on Berg Vivant. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Out seeing some theater in this lovely weather we've been having here in Pittsburgh.
You know it.
All right. Well, what went down this week?
Judgment at Nuremberg.
Heavy.
Heavy
business
heavy.
there.
I have to tell you, this is not for the faint of heart. It's not the sugar-coated version of the Nazis like Sound of Music.
What?
Like Sound of Music,
what's the sugar-coated version of the Nazis? I guess if there is a Sound of Music.
Yeah,
I mean, but they weren't like great in that either. You know?
Not like goodbye, farewell, auf Wiedersehen to you.
Right, but the Nazis weren't singing that.
but they just presented it in such a romantic way. This is not at all a romantic.
All right, thank you. Yes,
it's a reenactment. Fictional.
You will not be seeing singing nuns or
No.
I imagine any singing at all in Judgment at Nuremberg.
Not at all. That's for sure. It's a retelling, a fictional retelling of the trials at Nuremberg when some of the war criminals from the Holocaust were on trial. And I must say, it was so moving and so disturbing at times. The horrific things that happened that you actually see on a screen in the courtroom, Act 2, oh my, very disturbing. However, this production I thought was done in an interesting way because it was a theater in the round. And you know how the Gray Box Theater is so intimate to begin with, so you were really there feeling as though you were in the courtroom.
Oh, wow.
Watching the proceedings and feeling a part of it. The director was Liam Masick, and I wanted to mention him because it was, I think, a real dance, the way he directed it, because there were so many entrances and exits, and the pace just kept moving. There was no set, no props, no nothing, and I thought,
that is something, because, you know, courtroom drama can be a little stodgy. You know, people come in, people come out, they sit, they stand. You know. But
they were just in motion constantly. I couldn't get over. It was a fairly long play, but it didn't feel that way because the pacing was so good. And no one scene lasted too long. It had a huge cast. Several of the members in the cast played more than one role.
Well, you remember when this was a movie, they had like everybody in Hollywood at that time. It was Spencer Tracy, Judy Garland, Marlene Dietrich, like everybody. It was a cavalcade of stars.
Well, there was a cavalcade here too. Some of them are Pittsburgh stars.
Oh, good.
So there you go. I wanted to especially mention the performance that really stuck out to me was Everett Lowe. He is playing the character Ernst Jonning, who is on trial, and he stands out with the impressive depth of emotion that he brings to this challenging and complicated character. His monologue was just brilliantly and stunningly done.
Very good. Yeah, that's a tricky touching seat to be in, but hey, all right.
He did. And some other that I wanted to mention was kind of an interesting choice for one of the attorneys. Amy Portenlanger played Oscar Rolfe, a man, and I didn't quite understand that choice, but that's not to say that she didn't do a wonderful job of acting it and wearing her suit and tie. Michael McBurney played 3 different characters, and each and every one of them was so different from the other. He didn't even have to speak before you knew exactly who he was. Which character, and I thought he did that extremely well.
So it was embodied.
Yes,
we
totally
can say.
Embodied.
That's a good word.
I know, thank you.
I think that would be a good name for like a spa or a center for healing. Embodied.
Yeah, that does sound good. Sign me up for a massage.
That's a good idea. Anyway, sorry. We digress.
Yes, as usual. And Eric Leslie played the main judge, Judge Haywood, and he's a lot younger than his character. However, he has so much dignity and poise as he plays the role that I thought he carried it off.
It worked.
It off beautifully.
That's acting, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
very good.
Definitely worked. And who else do I want to talk about? I can't talk about the whole cast because there were so many.
Yeah, it's a loaded program there.
It is. Oh, and Stacey Roslick. I thought her performance really stood out in her real sincerity in how she played the role, and her love for the person that she was trying to defend.
Very good. So,
came across very well.
Recap. Reasons to see it.
I think one reason, of course, is the performance I mentioned, Everett Lowe. Another reason is it's such a thoughtful look at such a horrific period of time, and it's really an in-depth exploration of how could this happen? Could this happen again? Why did this happen? And it looks at the individual as well as the collective minds of Germans at that time, and it's very thought-provoking.
I would love to go to trials and things, because to me it's always like out of To Kill a Mockingbird. I want to wear my big Sunday hat and have a fan. That's what it's about. That is, to me, that is what the justice system is all about.
I actually was selected to go to jury duty, but then when I showed up, they didn't want me. They turned me away.
And you didn't even have to play crazy like people do to get out of it. I just pray for those moments when, they get somebody to break down on the witness stand, you got a really good prosecutor, and they're finally like, I did it! I killed him! All the world's a stage, but I wouldn't want to mop it.